March 18th, Mike Tyson Razor Ruddock dies. If he doesn't die, it doesn't count. If he's not dead, it doesn't count.
How you doing, everyone? My name is Ryan and this is Ade, and welcome back to another edition of Boxtalk. Ade, it's been a few weeks since I've done the video.
Yes, it has been.
And it's time to get a good one, bruv.
No pressure.
Never no pressure.
No pressure.
Let's start. We're going to start with the matchroom card on the 26th of June, which is Rocky Fielding versus Brian Vera.
Yeah.
I like this fight a lot. When I saw the fight in the press release, I was surprised this fight was taking place. The question is, does this fight make one of them legitimately world class?
No. No, not legitimate world class. No. You know. First, and we'll go back to that actually. But I think you just mentioned there. You said you're surprised that this was even on.
Yeah.
I don't think Matchroom have sold this enough.
Yeah.
I don't think they've sold who Rocky Fielding's fighting to the general public. To the casuals that might come and think, oh, Rocky Fielding's fighting an American.
Yeah.
He's fighting a bloody good American.
Yeah.
That has put himself in there with a lot of the top to fringe middleweights, super middleweights out there, and has handled himself pretty well. First of all, it's fantastic matchmaking by Eddie Hearn, because I think Fielding does need a boost. For a promoter, he must be a nightmare, because he doesn't talk, doesn't hype a fight up, doesn't call out nobody, and he's got two super middleweights that are coming up in terms of him and Callum Smith.
Yeah.
He obviously doesn't want to match them, so he needed a big name, and I think this is a perfect matchup and an intriguing match.
The thing about Brian Vera, you look at his record, yes, he's got a whole bunch of losses on there.
Yeah.
But if you look who he's fought, like Adi said, if you look at how he's fought them and how the matches have played out, yes, he took one or two one-sided losses, you know what I'm trying to say, but those are not the real story.
Yeah.
The story is that he's tough, he's gritty, he's determined, he's got experience, he's got a good chin, and you can't really deter him.
And those are all things that we don't know about Rocky Fielding.
Exactly.
We don't know if he's tough, we don't know if he's got a good chin, we don't know if he's gritty, none of those.
Exactly, yeah. When you've got a overweight Chavez that can basically put down a truck if he really wants to, and you can't get rid of...
I love your exaggerations. Yeah. I'm going to put a clip together with exaggerations. You've got to put down a truck.
Okay, a truck not named from Farah.
Yeah.
But the point I'm making is that Brian Vera is really a smaller guy.
Yeah.
And you couldn't put a dent in him.
Yeah.
Vera was putting the dents in Chavez.
Yeah.
Sergio Mora is a former title holder, beat Hall of Famer Vernon Forrest. He handed him a loss.
Was that a 154 though?
That was a 154.
Okay.
Brian Vera was in the Contender back in the day. I think he lost to Jaden.
Jaden Codrington.
Yeah, stopped him. But again, I'm talking about the type of things that he's a seasoned pro. Yeah. And when you say seasoned pro, it's not where you're throwing out. I mean, he's been on the big cars, the small cars, the undercard, the main events, the TV lights. He's seen it all. So coming to the UK to fight Rocky Fielding for him is no big deal. For Rocky Fielding, this is a show where he has to kind of step up and say, listen, I'm gonna make my name and make it. And even if he's not getting the credit for it, I think boxing fans will give him the credit if he gets the fight. If he wins the fight.
Problem with someone like Vera, I mean, look, Vera, we know he's gone to the BKB route, and to me, when I see boxers go to that route, it's almost like, I don't want to say a fading out process, but it's almost like the small leagues. Do you know what I mean? You're going, you're trying to cash in and make some money. And I feel like Brian Vera is doing this right now. Eddie Hearn will pay him good money to come over. Sky money is good, everyone knows that. And I just want to know how serious Vera is coming over to fight a Rocky Fielding. If Vera's coming on his A game, Vera wins this fight. If Vera's coming and thinking, never heard of this guy Rocky Fielding, I'll show him what I can do. I'm not taking it too serious in my training. I want to make some money. I don't know how old Vera is, but he's definitely on the other side of 30 now.
Yeah, definitely, mid-30s.
Then Rocky Fielding could win this and win it quite comfortably if the real Vera doesn't turn up.
If you look at Vera's record and you forget what the fans think, the record states he's on a 3-fight losing streak.
Yes.
He lost to Chavez in the first fight.
Yeah.
Regardless of what you think of the decision, the record says he lost.
Yeah.
He lost to Chavez in the second fight.
Yeah.
And then he lost to William Monroe, who put up a good performance against GGG.
And he got knocked out in BKB by Rosado.
That's my point,
that's 4.
So BKB don't count on his boxing record.
Yeah.
The point I'm making is that that's why they're calling it, because it looks like a slippage. But if you look at Vera's record, he's never been the A side. He's always been the guy on the loss that gets a fight that wins. Yeah. He's always the guy he never came in with a glittering career or glittering backing. He's always had losses on his record but wins big fights. So that's when I say that they've chosen a fight as it seems to me as it's good matchmaking and the timing is right. But with someone like Vera, I say the time is never right because he's an upset, he's a spoiler. Similar to Oval McKenzie. They write him off, he's gonna lose, but he wins and he pulls the upset. Yeah. And both of them come from that same type of breed.
The thing that I think for Rocky Fielding is that One Rocky Fielding brings is size. I've seen Rocky Fielding. He's a very he struggles to make super middle.
Yeah.
I mean, he struggled in his last couple of fights to make super middle. I think that's why the fight with Paul Smith didn't work out. Those negotiations and that kind of ended.
Yeah. He's tall.
He's very tall. He's rangy, good shape, and he started to put on strength. I've seen a couple of his fights where he said he's never been in the gym before. Yeah. He's never done weights before. Yeah. He's now started to do weights, so he's got the strength as well. He's in his hometown in Liverpool, and I think this fight, he looks at it as like, this fight, just catapults me to another level, a completely another level, maybe even in front of Callum Smith in terms of world recognition. And I think he'll take it. I really do think that it will be a tough fight early, but I don't think we're going to get it in shape Brian Vera. I think we're going to get a Brian Vera that's come earn a bit of money and just kind of ride off into the sunset. So I think Rocky Fielding will win. Could stop him late, which would be a bloody good shout, or win on points. Is that a 10 rounder or 12 rounder?
I'm not sure. It was a 10 or 12. I suspect it should be a 12 rounder. Yeah, that's what I saw the squirrel.
Bloody scared the shit out of me.
I'm going to stick with what Adi said about size. Rocky Fielding is a huge super middleweight. Very tall for the weight. Not very tall. Very tall frame, very tall stature. Yeah. Broad shoulders. Yeah. Tall. And I think that tells me something about Brian Vera. But sorry, that tells me something about Rocky Fielding and Brian Vera. Is that one, Rocky Fielding is actually the real super middleweight. Yes. In terms of the modern athlete. Yeah. Tall, big shoulders, strong, rangy. Vera's kind of a guy that's called smaller. Fought at 154 previously. He might even fought lower, but I'm sure he's 154, and he's actually come up over time to be a super middleweight.
He has to take the fights. He's chased the fights. Yeah.
He's chased the fights. What happens when you have stuff like that is that you actually have a guy that is that has come to the end of his career, where he no longer can make the lower weight class, so he goes up and up and up until he kind of tapers out. When you looked at the Brian Vera fight with Chavez, he was clearly a much smaller guy. And as much as you give him credit for it, and as much as he won the fight, Chavez lost the fight by being out of shape, not coming into any sort of conditioning, was gassing, weren't throwing good combination, weren't throwing good punches. So it helped Brian Vera in the fight. Coming against a young, stronger, I would say technically more sound and complete fighter, it gives Rocky Fielding the edge. Yeah. The difference is that it's experience. He hasn't got the experience, so he has to get rounds with Vera to take something from Vera.
It's a classic. It's a classic matchup where they get someone. Yeah, it's a perfect crossroads fight.
Yeah, crossroads match.
And I just think that the size of Rocky Fielding and the wear and tear that's on Vera, and there is wear and tear on Vera, big wear and tear on him, could count for a lot. Plus, it's at home. If it goes to a point session, let's be honest, we're fans, but let's be honest, if it goes to a point and it's close, it's only going one way. So I can't say anything. What's your prediction for it?
I'm going for Rocky Fielding. I'm going for Rocky Fielding. I think he'll just be, I wouldn't say more hungrier. I would say the younger, stronger fighter down the stretch. Let's go to the main event. Not the main event. Let's go to the other super middle on the card. And a fight that I saw on Boxrec that said, if Callum Smith wins this fight and if Rocky Fielding wins this fight, they're fighting in September.
Each other.
That's what's on Boxrec. So that's no way official.
Where was it really?
Yeah. It's no way official, but that's what's on Boxrec.
I think Eddie Hearn would be very, very silly to put those two in with each other.
No, I don't think so.
I think it's too. I don't think. I think they both can go different paths right now. I don't think you need to match them up yet. Interesting though.
The reason why they're matching them up now because super middleweights right now in the UK is top heavy. You know what I'm trying to say? You can't have a top 10 super division. No one's fought no one. Yeah, you've got to fight each other. You've got to fight your peers.
I agree, but when I look, when you think of it, Paul Smith's on the way out. Carl Fletcher's done. Yeah. So you got the girl and Groves that are there, and I think it's not a bad thing having Rocky Fielding and Callum Smith just below them without fighting. Let's do this video.
Let's do this video. Callum Smith, another tremendous talent, fights Christopher Rebrasse.
I'm not sure he is, by the way. But
you can say you're not sure. I like Callum Smith. He is, yeah. Tall, rangy, got some power. Yes. You know what I mean? Seems to have good balance as well. Yeah. But yeah, he fights Christopher Rebrasse in again, this is a tough fight, a very tough fight. Rebrasse, for the guys who don't remember, he fought and pushed George Groves a few months ago, and Rebrasse showed himself to be a legit European class, possible / potential world class fighter. Yes. If you think George Groves is a world class fighter and got hard done by in the Carl Froch fight, and you rank him in the top 5, where do you rank Rebrasse after the performance he put against George Groves?
Yeah, Rebrasse is definitely top 15.
Yeah, for sure.
Top 15, possibly pushing top 10 because it was a good performance against George Groves. I wasn't quite sure where George Groves was after that kind of vicious knockout. I wasn't sure. You know, we might not ever get the right George Groves again. So I wasn't sure if that was the real George Groves. But regardless, it was a good performance. And again, like Rocky Fielding and Vera, a very good matchup, but almost a different matchup.
Yeah.
This isn't a change of the guards or crossroads fight. No. This is two guys that legitimately think we should still be in that mix or all be in that mix.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's
for
a very
Callum
risky
to
fight.
get into that mix.
For Callum to get into that mix, and for Rebrasse to say, you're a bit below me, Callum, you know. And it could well happen like that. Yeah. Callum Smith's last fight was very interesting. And I think I saw holes in that. That was the first time I've seen holes in his performance. Again, people said something about weight and this and that. Didn't really train. Regardless, as fans, we only see what we see on the night. And what I saw on the night was an okay-ish performance. Yeah. I don't know if he's riding the wave of the Smith brother things. There's been a lot of hype about Smiths. Look, he's a fantastic fighter. But this is the acid test where I'm not sure how good he is. Look, you know when we say he's fluid and that's all very well. I think everyone coming up in their first 12 or 13 fights shows us that.
But you have to fight quality people and take a shot.
This is it. Yeah. And I think so far he's shown me fluidity, he's shown me his boxing skills against top 30, top 40 ranked opponents, and I expect that. He's called out the girl, he's called out Groves. Again, I don't mind that. I like people calling people out, but I'm split on this fight. I'm really sitting on the fence on this one. I'm not sure if he's as good as a Rebrasse level yet.
This is where what you were talking about before we said like the acid test and what he actually needs. Yeah, it's exactly what he needs. Yes, you might think he might have looked ropey in his last performance, but when you're fighting guys you're supposed to beat, guys that you're supposed to just go through the motions and get rounds with, there's no monkey on your back. There's nothing on you to keep you grounded and keep your mind safe. Like you're supposed to beat this guy, go in there, get the rounds, do your job. Now he's actually in a real fight. Yes, against a fighter that we know is proven
live.
Exactly. When you fight guys you're supposed to beat, it's easy.
Yes.
It's always easy. We all know this. Now I'm trying to say, anyone's that's sparred and you got guys, yes, you'll fight, yes, you'll win this guy. But when you've got, I'm an uber talent or promoted as an uber talent, and this guy is down here, there's no comparable skill set.
I agree.
So then you will find holes and try different things and see little openings, and it doesn't really look great sometimes. Now he knows he can't do that no more. He has to fight someone and actually shows that he has the potential that we see he has. Rebrasse showed in that fight that he's a little bit elusive.
Can take a punch.
He can take a punch.
George Groves has power, you know that.
Yeah. And he will force you back. Yeah. These are things that Callum Smith hasn't had to try to do before. Callum is aiming forced to miss shots. Yeah. Callum Smith aiming forced to actually work for a knockout.
He's not been scared of missing shots because he knows there's going to be no counter.
Exactly.
There's going to be nothing back. Exactly. This time there will be.
Now he's got looks to look at and say, guess what? I need to do something in this fight. This is the type of fight here that it's a make and break for Callum Smith.
You think?
Not saying that he can't. Not saying if he lost that he can't move forward, but it shows you where he's at. Okay. And that's why it's make or break. If you want to be that European level, if you want to talk about fighting world champions, you have to put a performance in this fight to say you're on this level. If you don't, you have to go back and say, guess what? Those few guys I fought last time they weren't really the top guys. I need to fight the guys in between to find out what I'm missing.
Yeah, I guess the problem for us and for fans and for Eddie Hearn is who is the in between. Do you know what I mean? Rebrasse, in terms of world level, I mean, people have talked about Callum Smith already, being high on the rankings for the WBC. He's high on those all rankings. Yeah. So this, I guess, Rebrasse probably is the in between. The top 15 fighter is the in between. And I'm. How many fights has Callum Smith had? Something like 12, 13?
Yeah, not a lot.
Okay.
I don't want to go back on the video done a minute ago, but again, the mid-level guys are the Brian Vera type guys. Yeah, guys that are names. Yeah. They've got ability, they've got skill, but they're on the mid-30, 35 edge. Not the guys that are in the mid-20, 28 edge. It's different. Okay. And that's what you're looking at.
All right, if Callum Smith does win, he spoke a lot, almost completely different to Rocky Fielding, which I like. Yeah. I mean, I put a tweet out there a couple of days ago and said, Callum Smith said, I'll fight George Groves. I think he even said he'll beat George Groves now. I put a tweet out there and everyone came back and said, no, George Groves. Yeah. Where do you think? Is he that level? Is he that already?
I won't know that until after Saturday night.
Even in terms of comparing them to.
No, not comparing the performances. Not in comparing the performances. It's what Callum Smith does and how he performs. It's a difference. Whereas I want to see, can Callum Smith handle that type of pressure? Handle another world-class boxer? Can he actually slip a jab? Can he actually get inside and do certain things? Can he get off those nice combinations, those power shots off against someone who's actually going to punch back?
All right. So look, if Callum Smith does win, is he up there with them lot yet?
No, not yet, but if he does win this fight, it makes him borderline top 10.
Top 10?
Yeah, borderline top 10. If you consider Rebrasse around top 15, top 10 to top 15, you reckon? Yeah. If he beats him, that puts him in that same league. When you look at the top guys in the division, you got...
Is it for the European title?
No.
Who's got the European title then? George Groves. Is he not vacated?
I think he vacated, but I don't.
You don't think this is for it?
No.
Okay.
If you look at the top guys in the division, Andre Ward, Carl Froch, DeGale, Groves, Abrahams,
both Durrell brothers, Badu Jack.
That's it, Abrahams? Stieglitz, yeah. So those are like the top 8, 9. You know what I'm trying to say?
And then everyone else
together, all in that type of bunch. Again, if you took Stieglitz and put him with Rebrasse, that's a good fight.
All right, there you go, guys. So here we go. Part of the Liverpool show. Obviously, Bellew coming next. So Rocky Fielding versus Brian Vera. Great matchup. Shout out to Eddie Hearn, by the way, on these matchups, because they might not be getting a lot of plaudits by a lot of people. No one's talking about this card as much. If you not realise that. Maybe because David Price is out of it.
I'll be rushing home Friday evening after work to get to bed.
Maybe that's why. Friday evening. I hope. Anyway, I think that's a mistake. I think that's a big mistake. I don't know why they're not doing it on Saturday. Saturday must be going on Saturday while they're not doing it. Anyway, Christopher Rebrasse versus Callum Smith. What's going on Saturday? Got that big American card, but well,
I'm trying to think what's going on Saturday.
Yeah, I don't know. Table tennis championship. There you go, guys. Like, there's the fights. So these guys are probably on a collision course. I think Ryan probably mentioned it, and I'm kind of saying it might be true right now. It's not James DeGale, George Groves collision course, but you can see it being a big Liverpool fight if both of them win, and both of them win well. Who gets more plaudits for the win? So does Rocky Fielding get more plaudits if he beats Brian Vera than Callum Smith will get for Christopher Rebrasse? I'm not quite sure. What do you think?
Good question.
What do you think, quickly?
I think it's kind of even for different reasons. Callum Smith because it actually shows that he is what we think he is. Rocky Fielding because it's a big step up. So they both get credits for different reasons.
Leave your comments below, subscribe, tweet, Instagram, the usual. Thanks for watching another edition of Boxtalk. Cheers.